Fact is, funds are limited in every arena, and if you know what your target should be based on valid data and valid evidence and statistics, then you're spending your money well. You know, then you're really hitting the right mark.
And that brings up a good point, because the counties that I mentioned before that have the higher rates of skin cancer, invasive skin cancer, have developed an educational program, which is a tool that they're taking out into those particular communities that I referenced before. It's called Screen, and what they're doing is they're educating teachers and parents and children in different localities, in different places, like at the pools and baseball fields.
Perfect, right.
Dr. Fox, I believe, has already been involved in that outreach effort, correct?
Yeah, in Hunterdon County, through, I guess, the Cancer Coalition in Hunterdon County.
Excellent.
We've been going out to the elementary schools, to third graders.
Okay.
And there's a PowerPoint presentation that we show to the third graders, and the kids are great. The kids are absolutely great. They're interested. They already know a lot about protecting from the sun.
Good.
They have
Kids
a lot
are
of
so
stories
much
to
smarter
tell.
than we give them credit
really,
for.
They
really are.
It's a really fun thing to do,
And they bring it home to the parents.
Hopefully.
And that's the whole point, actually.
Right.
And they do. I mean, as a parent of a 7-year-old, what she
You
learns
hear it,
in
right?
school, she brings home to me. So, absolutely.
The great thing about this particular project, because it was a pilot project, how they were going to develop the program and get it out there and test it, is that, you know, once they've completed, you know, doing this in all those 5 counties, all the other cancer coalitions will have access to that educational
Will benefit from the
PowerPoint
materials.
and the materials, and we'll be distributing it all through New Jersey.
Excellent.
So it works really well.
Excellent. I love when public health is doing what it does, right? This is great. And I really liked the comment that you mentioned about taking it to the pools, taking it to the school. People have to hear it where it needs to be applied, right? That immediate point of action.
So over and over.
Right. And since you brought that up, though, I do want to mention that all year long we take the dermascan with us to corporations for employee health and wellness. I mean, people are out in the sun all the time, exposed all year long, and they don't even really think about the fact that they need to wear sunglasses in the winter. So we're constantly reinforcing all of that all year long. It's not just in the summertime, because that's not really when it just affects us.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, and we now have SPF in our makeup, right? I mean, women should be applying, if they are applying makeup.
That's the only thing I can remember to do in a hurry every morning.
Right.
At least the face
apply the
is
SPF.
protected.
That's right. So, Dr. Fox, let's say I do find some kind of change in a mole, in a blemish, whatever. What would a dermatologist typically do if I was come to see you, or whomever?
Typically, what we do is examine the whole body. Even if somebody comes in with a complaint about something changing on their arm or their face, typically what we do, especially at the initial exam, is to really examine the entire skin surface from head to toe, scalp to the bottom of the feet.
And that's an area that is very hard to check.
Exactly.
As an individual, to do that at home, that would be very difficult.
It is difficult. When people have short hair, it's not as difficult. But people that have longer hair, what I tell them also is when they go to the hairdresser, because the hairdresser has a really good look at the scalp when they're doing the hair, to have the hairdresser just kind of, you know, mention if they see anything that looks different, anything changing.
Interesting.
What a great idea.
That is a great
outreach to all
That's a great idea.
hair salons.
That's right. That's right. That's a great idea. We don't.
There's public health in action.
That's right. See that? Right here on Public Health Matters. This is great.
I like that.
But the other thing that happens is that it's not uncommon, is that sometimes people come in with a problem, that something changing on one area, when in fact we find something on a completely different area that's a problem. The thing that brought them in is not a problem at all, but it's something somewhere else. So that's why it's just so important to check the entire skin surface, because there could just be something else that's even more important.
Okay, great. Now, we have just a couple of minutes left, so some key points we would want to remind people for prevention?
Most important is just in various ways to limit exposure to ultraviolet radiation. Sunscreen, sunscreen, sunscreen is what I say. That's my mantra, sunscreen. And generally in the office we recommend nothing below SPF 30. In fact, in the office I recommend as high an SPF as possible, because in reality the numbers are not as strong as they really seem, because people aren't putting on enough generally. They're washing it, it gets washed off, it gets sweated off. So generally we recommend applying as high as SPF as possible.
Okay. And
covering
let's
up with
remind
clothing.
folks before you do, SPF stands for
Sun protection factor.
And can you explain briefly what that
what it
means?
is technically is a number that was derived by how much longer somebody can stay in the sun and not burn compared with not using any sunscreen whatsoever.
Right. Okay.
So it's sort of a technical number that they come up with.
Okay.
But also protecting with clothing as much as possible,
Right.
sunglasses, a hat. And also limiting the hours in the sun. If you can avoid the peak hours between 10 and 2, go out early, go out late. That helps a little bit too.
Right.
Especially if somebody's at the beach pretty much all summer. Somebody that has a beach house, they're really there all the time.
Right.
There's no reason to have to be out there 8 hours every single day all summer.
Right. You know, there's that slip, slap. Slip,
Slop.
slop.
Slip, slap, slop.
Do I have that right? Right.
Right.
Slip,
Slip,
slap.
slap, slop.
Slip, slap, slop.
Right.
American Cancer Society.
That's right. Right. And I think it actually originated back in Australia from their cancer organization many years ago. But and then I also saw added on and wrap. So slip on the shirt, slap on the sunscreen, slip, slap. What did I forget?
Slop. Slop.
Right. Put on
Slap, slop.
that. Right. And then wrap on the sunglasses. All critical pieces.
Absolutely.
Great. Lucille, is there anything else you'd like to add about the Cancer
I would
Coalition
just-
as we
I would really like to invite everyone who's listening to call our office at the Somerset County Health Department to get involved in our cancer outreach efforts. If anyone's listening and they're not in Somerset County, there is a county, there is a cancer coalition at every county. Please reach out. You can get involved in many different ways. It's not a lot of commitment of time, but you can help to spread the word in your local church, your community groups, your schools. There's just so many resources that we have available that people aren't even aware of. And we'd like to make sure that we get that out there for all
Excellent.
cancer prevention.
Well, thank you both. Thank you very much, Lucille. And I'll be sure to have all contact information as well as other county some Cancer Coalition contacts as well. So thank you both for joining us. Our pleasure. And thank you for watching Public Health Matters. If you have any, if you'd like to find any additional information about today's program, you can visit our website at www.middlebrookhhealth.org. And thank you very much for watching today.